Hi everyone, Tony Tonkin here from my new show. So I'm trying something a little bit different on here because I had a YouTube channel called Wise, Witty and Weird, and the weird thing that happened to me last week was that I got banned from using the channel for a week and posting any live feeds on there because YouTube, in their algorithmic wisdom, had chosen to delete me because of something that the algorithm said that I said, which I didn't say. So my purpose in doing this particular feed to my Facebook page and to my other YouTube site, which I have now changed to the Tony Tonkin Show, because I've decided that I'm going to put more stuff on this particular YouTube channel. So they haven't banned me from YouTube entirely. They've just banned me from Wise, Witty and Weird, which is a site I set up with Avery Hilditch. And I've decided now to go to this page because bugger 'em. Now, there's a number of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about why I've set up this site, why I've changed the name to the Tony Tonkin Show, and what happened initially around their justification for banning me. Now, number one, I feel like I'm an elite company because I also know that Sky News were banned from using their or uploading anything to their YouTube channel for a week. So for someone like myself who has the sum total of 20 subscribers on my Wise, Witty and Weird channel, it was kind of like an honour in a bizarre sort of way to be banned by YouTube in this way. The other thing too is that I've the content that they think I put up was not the content that was put up. So they've taken down one of the videos that I have that I released and the one that they're objecting to. Now what happened was they sent me a email to say that you're suspended, and I sent back one saying why, because I've got no idea. And the reason apparently was that I said something that indicated I was an anti-vaxxer, and as a result of that they chose to, which I didn't say, but somehow the algorithm got kind of confused between what I was saying and what I actually said. And so I decided to say, well, bugger you, because there's a number of reasons here. Number one, if someone accuses you of doing something and you simply didn't do it, and you have no way of justifying what it is that you're supposed to have done, then quite frankly, that's an injustice. Now, my whole life has been about challenging those sorts of injustices. So clearly, I was distressed by the fact that YouTube, had committed an injustice against me. And look, I know in the scheme of things, I'm not that important, but I do know that I have the right to object when organisations or people or anybody or entity or whatever does something that is clearly unfair. That's what I do as a social worker. So taking this up to YouTube and saying, look, you've done the wrong thing by me, please change it, which I did. And then within 2 hours, they had sent me back a response saying that it didn't matter what I said, actually, that they believed I contravened their community standards. I clearly hadn't, but there was no one that you could argue with. This is the other problem. There's no one you can go to at YouTube and say, you watch the video and you tell me which part of that video contravened your community standards. So it's made me wary of what it is that we need to say on YouTube, because if I use that V word, does that mean that anything that follows that V word, which may indicate that I might take an anti-vaccination stance? The objection that they had primarily, I think, was that they thought I was making a comment about unfounded medical advice, right? What I'd done was I'd put up a poster that on my Facebook page, which was highlighting all the times that those vaccinations have been helpful where people have been able to be vaccinated and we've got rid of certain things. See, I'm even worrying now, saying all of this right now, I'm worrying whether this is going to get through to YouTube and they're somehow going to ban me from this YouTube page, this YouTube channel. So I guess I am confused. The other frustrating thing is that I pay for Facebook, I pay for YouTube, so that I don't have all the ads and stuff. So I give them money to use their service so that I can watch and inform and do the things that I do on YouTube and that most people tend to do on YouTube. Now, I pay them for that right so I don't have to look at advertisements. So I, in effect, are paying those proposed advertisers, I guess, for the opportunity to use YouTube. So it's like a subscription fee to Netflix or to Stan or to whoever it is. So I have this, but they don't give me anything back. They give me the opportunity to be able to do feeds like this, and I appreciate that, and I'm not critical of them for that. But I'm the one spending my time, effort, and money doing what I do for the reasons that whatever reason that might be, and they give me nothing in return apart from criticising me for putting something up which I didn't put up. That itself is an injustice. So what I'm asking people to do is to help me, to make a stand against them by getting money from them. So the YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube at the moment, I just set this up a little while ago, so I haven't put everything up here that I need to. I'll do that next time I do a feed. But please subscribe. So if you're watching this on Facebook, go to the Tony Tonkin Show or just search for Tony Tonkin on YouTube until you find me, and then subscribe, because the more subscribers I get, at the moment I have 31 subscribers or something, which is bugger all. I understand that. I don't do much on this site, and I'll talk about a little bit more about that in a moment. But just go there and subscribe. I don't care if you never watch a video again. Get those subscriptions up so that at the end of the day, hopefully, I will be able to monetize them and get some money from them for the amount of views that we get. And the first thing we have to do is get those subscriptions up to 1,000. So that's all I'm asking of people right at the moment. Register your complaint about the fact that YouTube can arbitrarily blame people or block people and blame them for things they didn't put up, but the algorithm says that they did. So their lack of accountability means that we can find a way, and you can find a way, to help me to monetize this particular channel so that instead of me paying the money I pay for as a premium YouTube subscriber, I can hopefully get some money back from them. So it's my way of objecting to them. Now, you might argue, well, Tony, hopefully you're hoping that you'll make some money from this. Well, actually, frankly, I don't care. I would like to make enough in order to be able to pay my premium cost, whatever that might be. I would like to be able to let them know that I object. And I think that getting subscribers up is a way by which I can do that. So I'm just asking for you to help me around that right now. So if you're watching this on Facebook or Twitch, can you please go to my it's now called the Tony Tonkin Show. Can you please go there and subscribe to this particular channel? Now, I'd be also interested in anybody else who had issues with YouTube around being unsubscribed. Now, I'm going to become very cautious of using the V word for fear that YouTube might get upset with me. This isn't the way that we need to run a democracy where, look, I'm quite in favour of social media having their place. I think it's fabulous that people like me can have a voice. I love some of the stuff, some of the vloggers that I see on Facebook. I have a certain number that I tend to watch around political issues that I'm interested in. I think that's important. We all should have that opportunity, and I'm not going to hammer YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or anybody else for providing that facility. But I think that we need to be careful that these organisations don't sever that right that they're providing us, and I appreciate it's a service. I appreciate that they're corporations, and I also appreciate they can basically, I guess, because they are corporations, do what they do. But we need to ask them to have a social conscience as well. I don't disagree necessarily with getting rid of and banning extreme views of any sort, whether they be right or left. If the views are harming other people, then I think someone needs to make a decision about whether those views are damaging enough to the community to have them evaluated and assessed. So, but I know I've never put up views that are extreme. I challenge. I've got a whole series of videos I had on Wise, Witty and Weird challenging Sky News and some of their right-wing propaganda, and I'll be putting now that stuff up on this channel because I guess, the bizarre as it might seem and as paranoid as it might seem, I think that I will be targeted now on Wise, Witty and Weird. So anything that I say, the algorithm will pick up and say that's too much, which means then they'll take down my site. So that's their threat. The threat is 2 strikes and you're out, basically, without any review, any person in reviewing what it is that we put up. It just the algorithm says that these things were said, whatever. No one looks at it as if the algorithm's always right, and we know that they're not, because they're designed by humans to start with, so they're likely to be flawed in some way. So what I want everybody to do is, if you've been banned by YouTube for saying something that you did not say, or if you think that it was unfair or unjust, let me know. I'd like to get some information about that, maybe feed that back to YouTube. The odd thing was that that Google had been in contact with me because of because I'm president of the Child Protection Party. So YouTube a couple of weeks ago, well, over a period of a month or so, had been contacting us, hoping that we as a political party will join with them in an advertising campaign to help us. Okay, Yoko, I've just got a message from Yoko. Christians can't take vaccines as they are developed from aborted fetus cell lines. I'm not even going to talk about that, and I don't even know why that's there, and me even saying that may get me blocked out of this particular site as well. So I'm not going to really respond to any of that stuff. So, and maybe it's that stuff that gets me blocked out. Maybe someone puts up something on my YouTube page that kind of caused me to get blocked. I don't know. I'm about to find out, because that might be it. So I guess what I'm saying is that we need to be able to push back against anything that is unjust, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, whatever. So do what I said. Go to the page, subscribe, and let's see what happens. And in the meantime, if you're watching this, I'm doing a live feed on the Child Protection Party YouTube page and also on our Facebook page at 7 o'clock tonight. So could you all please join in that? It'll be an interesting conversation on why it is that we're interviewing people and some of the interesting things that have come out of those particular interviews that we've had in relation to child protection. So So could you please join? Let me know what's happening in your world. Join the Child Protection Party page to have a look at that as well. And I hope to catch you next time on the Tony Tonkin Show, because there'll be many more issues that we will talk about in relation to Australian politics and politics around the world. And I hope to be able to do at least one of these shows every day. So for those of you that have joined me, thanks very much. And I look forward to being with you when I catch up with you possibly tomorrow. Take care, look after yourself, and more importantly, be safe.